Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're a newcomer, welcome also. Now, I've been playing First Descendant for a while and I'm not covering the game per se, but they did release a new game mode called Onslaught and I want to share my thoughts with, everybody out there. So, I've tried this game mode for 5 days and I have a few things to say about it. First, let me acknowledge the effort of the devs I put into the game, and this mode does reflect a bit of my own desires for mission structure in this game. It requires a bit of strategy, it allows for a diverse team composition, with supports and tanks, and it does give out a good reward. That said, it is plagued with design issues that need addressing. Now I know this game mode is still on the beta phase, it's just trying it out. The overall mission will only be implemented in May. So there might be changes from what I'm saying, there may be changes by the end of the month. But from what I know, I don't know if it's been fixed, there was a great deal of ammo and MP deficiency when I started playing. To the point that I ran out of ammo multiple times on at least 2 weapons. Now, this might have been fixed already because I didn't notice the deficiency later, but I haven't played that much after completing level 3 either. So my suggestion is to have an ammo delivery robot in every location, of which there can be 3 or 4 depending on the level. So it's one is always the Colossus, the others are the defense missions previous to that. There's also a big disparity in fragments available from level 1 to level 2 and 3. At level 1 you start with, I think it's 400 fragments, but at level 2 you get immediately reduced to just 100. It is too much of a thematic loss, and when we're at level 3 it remains 100. I think there should be more fragments at level 2, say maybe 200, just for the progression to make sense and not escalate difficulty that much faster between just 1 and 2. We have 400 at 1, 200 at 2, 100 at 3. It doesn't make sense to require different amounts for each turret or turret level. Everything should be standard to require 150 points to max. No, 50 plus 50 for 50. Maybe the barricade could be different, but I would still make it, 100 plus 100 plus 100, so 300, not 100, 200, 300. However, for that, I want there to be more turret variety, turrets with buffs and with heals. Otherwise, it gets too confusing to do math on the fly while enemies are attacking you from all sides. Turrets should also have better color iconography. Level 1 the icon is white, level 2 green, level 3 the max in yellow or in blue to be easily distinguishable on sight. Because of the white icon, it can mean level 1 or level 2, because if you don't have enough fragments it just appears white in all levels. So fragments owned are also hard to see because they are stuck in the middle of the text boxes on your right. They need to be highlighted better or maybe in a different color. But actually, I think you should just remove numbers from the entire system, provided all turrets require the same amount, and replace it with squares or dots, whatever. You'd have a square count on your right, and atop each turret you'd see the number of squares added to them, or vacant. All elements will require 3 squares to max, so it's 1 square equals 50 points. That way it would be easy for us to identify at what level everything is and how many squares it would have to use, to level it up. Much easier just to figure it out that with just icons than have to look at the numbers and try to do the math. Platforms are to spot on the ground. They need some sort of highlight around them when they are not active and when you have enough points to use them. One thing that also happens is we cannot revive our fallen teammates on top of an unactivated turret or near one, because again things we want to build the turret, despite many times we don't even have the points to do so. So if our friend is right there, it all appears as the prompt for the turret and not the prompt to revive. Fallen teammates are also hard to see because the enemy density is just so high. Trying to call them in the middle of all those effects is near impossible. I would suggest that when the character is down, its icon would change on the mini radar so we could better spot it. Instead of appearing the color of it, it'll be red or maybe with the little graphic that they have when the character is down. That will be much easier to spot and to locate them in the middle of all the confusion. Concerning tyrants and commanders, these should not respawn with full health if we haven't beaten the previous wave, the ones of the previous wave. They should only respawn after we kill the previous ones. Otherwise, it becomes a waste of ammo and MP. So what we ended up doing at level 3 was just focusing on taking out the little guys and just survive the tyrants, something I will get back to. Tyrants and commanders should not appear right in the first wave at each location. I think in wave 1 at each location there should be none. Wave 2 should have 1 tyrant, and wave 3 should have a tyrant and a commander. Maybe for missions at level 3 this could change. Maybe they could appear sooner because there's 2 of them most of the times. But like I said, they are so resilient or so strong that most players will just ignore them and go for the enemy count, rather than try to kill them just to get a few more fragment points. Because, let's face it, level 3 is so hard, team composition has to be damage dealers, and with ice in this case. I don't know if they'll change it from ice to another element, but right now, it's just with ice. Other elements really don't do anything, and the freedom of team composition goes right out the window. I really don't think we even have necessity for a level 3. Since the reward is always the same, increasing level difficulty does not offer better or more rewards. No matter the level, all we get is 1 ancestor mark. There's also no reward between locations, which means that if you're at the end of wave 9 and lose, which happened to me twice, at level 3, I just wasted 20 minutes of my life. I think something should be added in between locations, meaning every 3 waves there should be a reward. My suggestion would be cores of level X, but it could be anything that the devs think of. So, all this should be fixed, but let me get this gist out of it. This game mode works exactly like everything else in the game. All you need is to kill X amount of enemies the fast you can, and that was kind of disappointing. The turn mechanics is nice and at some instances even fun, but only at level 1 when there's enough fragments to go around. As soon as we enter level 2, you can start to see the cracks in this game. It takes too long. It took to me to finish level 2 25 minutes, and level 3 was even longer with 35 minutes. There's no real party search to speak of. I mean, the party system of search that they have in the game is not good. Every time I try to use it for challenges or for purge or anything, it never works. Never. And matchmaking kept taking us to the game with only 3 players when there's clearly enough time to find a 4th. Many times they said matchmaking will take about 40, 50 seconds, and at the 15 mark or 20-second mark, it will bring us to the game. Then I'll go out, go in again. It says 15 seconds, 10 seconds later, we're in the game again. So there's clearly enough people playing the game for him to wait for 4, but somehow, at least on PlayStation, it always matches us with only 3. And at high levels, it's really hard because you don't have enough fragments. Mathematically, you don't have enough fragments to put turrets and barricades up. So yeah, there was also that problem. Adding to that, characters with shields, the shields would not work like barricades, so Ajax and Kyle could not put barriers and actually stop the progression of enemies. Characters with healing could not heal the turrets, so Eugene goes out the window, and hacking remains non-existent throughout the entire game. I mean, there was no point where you could hack just to get more fragments, or maybe to put more turrets available or something like that. There was nothing like that. So I see this game mode becoming much more like Void Erosion Purge, which is the high level of erosion, where only the meta hungry or the teams of friends go to play. Level 1 might get the biggest piece of player retention since it's the fastest, but if all you're looking for is for ancestor mods, there's far better and faster ways to get them in the game. So I played this game mode, I played it till level 3, I finished it, but I don't think I'll play it again. Like I said at the beginning, I congratulate the devs for trying, and despite its issue, this is a step in the right direction, but sadly, I don't think this will move the needle in player count or player retention. So that's been the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe. Comment down below if you played this game mode, what you thought of it, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, have a great game, guys.